realest one that's reppin'. Oh my God, oh my God. If I die, I'm a legend. When they lay me down to rest, I know I was always reppin'. Oh my God,
So, hey guys, it's me again, your girl RaiA, and I'm back with another video. Now, this is something, by the way, that I am doing, which is pretty unexpected because there's something that I have received recently in the mail, and I am actually super excited to share with you guys about it. Now, as you guys know, that I have been playing Arcane Legends for a while, but I also play other games. So, I don't really consider myself as a gamer, but it's something that I actually like to do. And recently, not just recently, this was like yesterday, I received something in the mail which is pretty helpful for me since I play a lot of games, and most of the games that I play are RPGs or FPS or like adventure games as well. And I would like to share with you guys what I received in the mail, and I would like to provide you guys more information on how you can maximize the usage and how you can make sure that this works for your Android devices, because as you guys know, I am actually an Android user. So without further ado, the item, by the way, that I have received in the mail is this. There you go. Now, for those of you guys who is not really familiar with the type of item that I have received, this is actually a game controller. This one specifically is called Mocute. Mocute 050. Now, this is a pretty cool item, especially if you're a mobile phone user, like a gamer that uses like mobile devices, because one of the biggest problems that mobile gamers have is when you are charged and play, the phone gets hot and it kind of hurts your thumbs or your fingers whenever you're using it. So instead of enjoying it, sometimes you actually have to rest and stuff. And also when it's a bit lagging and stuff and your phone isn't really that responsive, especially the touchscreen part, it's actually something that's been an issue for players like us. So this is my video of unboxing, and I will be showing you guys how I connect this to my phone and how I make sure that the buttons work for Arcane Legends. So if you guys actually want to know more information about my new game controller and how to use it and how you can actually use it if you're planning to purchase your very own controller, then please stay tuned, okay? Alright, so first things first, let me go ahead and show you guys how the actual device looks like. So this is pretty much simple. So this is how it looks like here. As you can see, the controllers and stuff, it's so cool. Actually, I've tried using this yesterday because of course I don't really want to show you guys just the video itself without really showing you like how to connect this to your phone and stuff. So let me just go ahead and remove this one here. So this is, by the way, the controllers itself. I'm so excited, like seriously guys, no joke. I've even tried PvP. I tried PvP, and I also tried Mausoleum. I also tried Elite Southern Gates. I've also tried my other games like Ops, like my first shooter games, or first player shooter games. I also tried Mobile Legends as well, and everything pretty much works out. The only problem that I do have though is these controllers, by the way, are pretty basic, and it's more of like universal. So that means it has a specific function, but it doesn't mean that it will work on all of your games. So you need assistance from specific apps. Now this is, by the way, the controller. So just let me show you guys. So all you need to do is just press this for like 2 seconds until there's a blue light that appears here. So that means it's Bluetooth enabled. But if it doesn't have to be this, you can also use like PS4 controllers and stuff. It also works on your mobile devices. Just make sure that you buy those adapters, because the the connector is, it looks like this, but you actually need it to be like this in order for you to connect that to your device. But I prefer something like this because this works solo, so I don't have to like have like a wire going on. I can just simply play like this, like while watching the game I can play like this. And okay, so as you guys know, I don't know if you've seen on my other video the device I use. I actually use a Samsung Galaxy Note, and it's pretty damaged already because I play hardcore. No, not really hardcore. I'm very clumsy, so I drop my device all the time. Like, seriously, all the time. Whenever I do PvP and stuff, I drop it a lot. So, yeah. Now, here's the cool thing about this. All you need to do pretty much is just turn on the Bluetooth of your device. Just turn on the Bluetooth of your device. There you go. And when you turn on the Bluetooth of your device, all you need to do is just turn on this one here and wait until there's a blue light that appears. Now, it will be recognized by your phone, so just make sure that you connect. So it's called Mocute because that's actually the brand of the device that I am using. Now, when I first tried this one with Mobile Legends, the joysticks itself, this two, it actually works for the maps and stuff, but when I tried it on Arcane Legends, it did not work. The only buttons that are working is the letter A, the X, the Y, and this one, usually for the skills. But that's kind of a bummer if you can't really use the controllers and stuff, right? So, like I told you, every game has different coordinates. They also have different controls inside the game, so you can't really expect that the controllers will know exactly where the position of your controllers are in game, right? So you need technically some assistance. Now, of course, I did my research on, on the device because I want to make sure that I can personally enjoy this, because you can't really enjoy a controller if, there are some buttons there that are not working. So, after doing my research, I found out that you actually have to use a key mapping tool to assign, to assign those specific, to assign the keys from your game to your controller. Now, first things first though, what's cool about this is you can actually use your device, like you can place your device almost anywhere, like a countertop, your bed. If you have like a lazy stand, you can also put that on your lazy stand. But the cool part about this is it actually has this. This is like a universal holder, so no matter how big your phone is, you can actually just place it. I personally don't use it like that because I find it heavy and I feel that I might drop it again, so I might not just break my phone, I might also break the controller, so I prefer not to. But I will be doing that in a bit, so at least I can show you guys how accurate pretty much the buttons are, and I'll provide you guys all of the information that I can share regarding the controller and the phone. Now, one of the questions pretty much that I think you guys will be asking me is, does your phone need to be rooted? Yes, it does, because if you're specifically gonna key map all of the keys from your phone to another device, you actually have to have your phone rooted, so at least you can have access to that. Because if your phone is not rooted, your phone won't really allow you to do those kinds of things in your device. That's also like something the manufacturer pretty much assigns. I don't know, I can't really remember. I worked before for cell phone companies, and at some point I remember those, but at some point I don't. So without further ado, let me go ahead and show you guys how it looks like, the keymapper looks like, and how it looks like on the phone. Let's go. This one here pretty much is a recording of my phone. Now I'll be showing you one of my keymappers that I tried out. The first one is tincore keymapper. The reason why I chose this one because of the reviews and the success rate of this keymapper actually works for a lot of players. So I was like, might as well use it, right? Now this one works perfectly for Mobile Legends and my other FPS, which is Critical Ops, but it did not work perfectly well for me for Arcane Legends, because when I tried to map exactly the keys for my Arcane Legends game, the problem was it comes out reverse, and it's like a trial and error, and it took me a good while just to actually get just the joystick moving. However, when I got the joystick moving, I cannot map the skills properly, so I end up trying to look for another one. Now this one here is game keyboard. Now this is pretty basic for me. It's very easy to use. Just try to adjust it based on how you guys actually want it. But if you want to copy how exactly I did it for my Arcane Legends game, then you can go ahead and check this one like multiple times. But if you do have questions though, just feel free to ask me, so at least I can go ahead and help you guys out into like syncing it on your device, and it works perfectly well. That's why I love it so much, and it's pretty basic. The only problem that I did have on this one was I got confused a little bit with the buttons. When the first time I tried this, the joystick didn't work, only the keypad, but I ended up figuring out how to actually make it work, so now my controllers works perfectly. And I know you guys, or whoever owns this one, are dying to actually figure out where you can get this cool keymapper. I'll go ahead and put the link on the description box down below, so please feel free to check that. And if you guys have any problems downloading it, the name again of the keymapper is Game Keyboard. This is version 6.0. But if it doesn't really work on your device, if you have like a lower kind of device, like lower OS or operating system, then go ahead and try to download the lower version or the older version. Maybe that will work. And again, using it is pretty simple, and it doesn't really require rooting. But for Arcane Legends it does, because for some reason Arcane Legends controllers are a bit complicated. So let me go ahead and show you guys how it looks like exactly on, on game itself. And in my opinion, pretty much the biggest problem that you will probably have is the ping. But other than that, the controllers works perfectly well. You just have to make sure that you map your keys properly so that all of the keys will actually work. But it's very simple. You don't even have to guess any specific numbers like coordinates just to make sure that it matches. It's not gonna give you that kind of problem. Well, I personally didn't. I don't know if you guys might wanna give it a try. And the good thing about this, like I mentioned earlier, it does not have to be Mocute. You can actually use your PS4 controllers. Just make sure to buy those adapters to have the USB fit on your phones, just like a charger and stuff, and it works well on that. Sorry by the way on how the video looks like. This is not how normal, or this is not really the normal kind of way my videos actually looks like, but for some reason it did on this one. Now once you log into the game, on the upper right side, just click on, when you click on that, the edit button will actually show. But first let me go ahead and make sure that it starts and it's on edit mode. Okay, so it's on edit mode, on screen keypad. If you want the joystick to work, make sure that you click on the mouse and keyboard so that the joystick will work. Let me go back in game. When you click on the upper right side, I'm actually using the controllers now. I'm not even using the touchscreen part of my phone. Now when you click on the upper right side, like I said, this will show, and all you need to do is just place the keys on the skills or on whichever place that you want it to click, so at least you can use it properly. So like I said, it's very basic. I love this APK, or this application that I saw, and like I promised, I will try to post the link down below so you guys can actually download it. And after you're finished into like putting everything up, on the skills and make sure that everything is all set, just make sure to save this profile so every single time that it appears. And this is how it looks like when I'm actually using the device. So as you can see, I'm roaming around on my character using the controllers itself, and the controller works like magic. I love it so much. Works perfectly, and it doesn't really give me problems. I've tried this already in Mausoleum, in PvP, and also ESG or Elite Southern Gates. I even tried it for Mobile Legends, by the way, and also for Critical Ops. Works perfectly. I never really had any kind of problems. You just have to get used to the skills and the buttons to make sure that you do your combos correctly. But other than that, I don't really see any kind of problems. I've never really encountered any delay except for my ping. But other than that, everything works smoothly. Now, for chatting though, you actually have to use your touchscreen part because chatting using the controller just gives you a headache. I really hate it. So let me go ahead and show you guys PvP real quick. Okay, so let's go to Blood Beach. As you can see, no enemy. Well, guys, it's 66. It's not really that active, but for those 63 players, I'm waiting for you guys to actually go to 66. So at least I can play with you guys. I don't want to go 63. Come on, guys. Level up and play with me. As you can see, the skills works perfectly. It works really, really nice. I've tried to play PvP earlier. It was fun. It was so fun using the controllers. It's just like, you know, if my phone was actually a television, it's just like I'm using a PS4 into playing, playing the game. I'm not really comfortable in sticking my phone into the controller himself because it feels very wobbly and feels very uncomfortable. I like it when the controller is just lightweight, so at least I can move freely. And big shout out, by the way, to my guild Pinoy Rules, Venice, and all of my Pinoy Rules family, and Ray Starkey. Hi. Pretty much that's it for that one. So just an additional information regarding the controller. My pros for that is it's much more easier for you to run maps since there wouldn't be any lags on the keys and stuff. Not unless you actually have problems with your connection. So that's the only cons. That's the pros of that device. The good thing about this one is the joystick is pretty responsive, as well as the buttons. If you don't really play games using controller, then you might have a hard time getting used to it at first, but you'll get the hang of it. The cons pretty much is for role-playing games like this, especially since you actually chat with other players, it's kind of hard to type using the controller, so you actually have to go back and forth from the controller and your cell phone directly. But overall, I don't really see any problem on the controller itself. The controller works perfectly fine, and not just the controller, even any other controllers that you can use, that's probably going to be the pros and cons. Now for Mocute, by the way, I like Mocute in the sense that the battery life is really long. I didn't really have to charge it all the time, so that's one good thing about this one. It's pretty lightweight. The only thing that's heavy if you connect your phone to your controller is your phone is gonna be very heavy, so it's not really comfortable to use in my perspective. It's a bit wobbly, so I prefer putting it on a countertop and then just using a controller like I'm playing games on a PS4 with a much smaller screen. But overall, it's nice, especially if you try it on COps like Critical Ops or first player shooter, like first person shooter, games. I think RaiA came out already, Rules of Survival. So if you actually have a controller, it will be easier for you to run and play and kill. So those are some of the things that you can actually use these controllers for. But I personally use this for Arcane Legends and Mobile Legends. But that's the thing also. I use a different keymapper for Mobile Legends. I normally use the tincore, and for this one I use that app. And if you guys actually wanted to download that, I'll put the description, or I put the link down below so you guys can download your very own keymapper. It doesn't really require root, but for much more complicated games like Arcane Legends, you might actually need to root it, because there will be some things or some buttons that won't be working on the game. So yeah, that's it for the pros and cons for the controller and the device. So as you can see, the controller itself works perfectly on my device. Now I would suggest that you try to adjust your keys depending on your comfort level, because that's how I'm comfortable with the keys. That's why I adjust it like that. But if you're comfortable in adjusting it in a different manner, that's totally up to you. And by the way, just a disclaimer, of course it may or may not work for your devices. Make sure that if you're planning on purchasing those kind of controller, make sure to check the authenticity. And like I said, you can use any specific or any controller. It doesn't have to be specifically Mocute. This is not a sponsored video, so I am not gonna promote. But if you do have like any questions though on how to connect your controllers to your laptop, cell phones or tablets, you can try to get in touch with me. I'm more than happy to try to help you guys out with the best key mapping application that I can find for you guys. But anyways, if you guys ever tried, or if you guys are planning on purchasing this, or if you already purchased this, please let me know on the comment box down below about your experience when using a controller for gaming. It's so fun, isn't it? It's just like playing PS4, right? And so that's it pretty much for my video. Again, thank you so much for your love and support. Just a big shout out also to those players that have been supporting me a lot, even though that I was supposed to quit the game and stuff. But thank you so much, guys, by the way, guys, for the endless friendship and the love and support that you guys are providing me. And I heard that Hugtulu or the Valentine event would be awesome, so probably I'll be seeing you guys on that event. I'll probably provide you guys with a video information, since there's a lot of new things that is gonna come out. And if also you guys need clarification on any specific event, or if you guys want me to do a video on any specific task or quest, just let me know on the comment box down below. Again, I really appreciate your guys' love and support. See you guys again on my next video. XOXO, RaiA.